Hey guys, it's James Upjohn from Magic Submitter Tutorials. In this video, we're going to look at some more of the advanced features of the Campaign Wizard and exactly what happens when we click the second option, which is just open Campaign Designer. The last video that we did was a basic campaign setup, and at the end of the wizard, I just clicked Run Now. So in this one, I'm going to show you what would have happened if we had clicked just open Campaign Designer so that we can make final modifications. So when you click just open Campaign Designer, you'll notice that the Campaign Designer window comes up like this. And the first thing to point out about this is we can now edit or look at what we inserted into each of these nodes in the last campaign setup screen. And we can check to make sure that we've not made any mistakes, and we can add some advanced features, which I'll talk about shortly. If I double click on this blog node, you'll notice that it opens up a window here. This is like the edit submit item window. And I'd just like to talk you through this really quickly. First of all, you'll notice that in the last video, we talked about random links. And at the top here, it says get random links from. We make sure that our random links are coming from that information technology and phone random links box. What we can do at this point is we could edit our random links list. You may remember I put in there site.com, another link, and facebook.com. So we could add more links to that, take some links away, just edit and make some changes. Or we could create a new random links list. Also, we can see here what project we're in. We want to leave it in the project that we're in. We don't want to confuse that. And over in the far right corner, we can click here for help. Let's say you've gone through the Campaign Wizard and you're not 100% sure that you filled something in properly here. You can click here for help. And what this will do is this will tell you what goes in each one of these boxes. So you can just double check to make sure that you did things correctly. It's really helpful. Every single submit item that you double click on, you will see this click here for help in the top right hand corner. So I'm going to click on blogs, and you'll notice that each one of these pertains to a different piece of our submission content. The title of our content, this will be the summary, the post body, the keywords, and the post page name. Now, Magic Submitter was clever enough on the last Campaign Wizard page that it took all of that information that we wrote in and it automatically filled in each one of these nodes for us. So it split the title, as I talked about in the last video. You can see that the blogs have a title, the bookmarks have a title. So it automatically took that content and split that up for us, which is really handy and is a huge time saver. So back into blogs, you'll also notice at the bottom here that we've got all of our profiles selected. And the reason that we've got them all selected for this one is because we chose all profiles when we was going through the Campaign Wizard. We chose to submit to all. What we could do once we're in here, if we decided that we didn't want to use profile 5 or profile 4, we can just unselect those and Magic Submitter won't post to them for this particular node. Some people use this for only selecting, say, profiles 1, 2, and 3 for their top tier, and maybe profiles 4, 5, and 6 for their bottom tier, just to make sure there's no crossover. Or you can just leave it on the default, just let Magic Submitter take care of it for you. At the bottom, if you've got indexing set up, you can choose to send links to indexing service. This is brilliant because you might decide that you only want to send links to the indexing service for those sites, let's say, for example, blogs, but you might decide that actually, I don't really want to send my plugs to the indexing service, so you can just uncheck that and then they won't be sent across. So that's brilliant in regards to that feature too. And then finally, over on the right hand side, we've got our services list. You can see all of these different sites. You can see the page ranks, and if there's categories required, you'll see them in here. And then over in the far right column, you will see sites that Magic Submitter was successfully able to register to or submit to the last time you created a campaign using the same profiles. Up in the top toolbar here, we can select all services to ask Magic Submitter to submit to those. We can unselect all services. Let's say we only wanted to choose just a couple like that. Or we can tell Magic Submitter to choose selected. We can highlight a handful and click choose selected. There are some other icons in here too. We've got set categories, we've got load categories, save categories, and we've got clear category settings for selected sites. I'll talk about these in a few minutes on one of the other service types that require categories. And then we've got select. Same before here, you can select all, select highlighted, select all activated, select all failed. If you decided you only wanted to submit, say, above PR2, you can choose that, and you'll notice that Magic Submitter hasn't picked this one because it's a page rank 1. So you can filter out these by page rank. You might say belong to platform or select random. You might say, okay, I don't want to submit to 100 blogs or 70 blogs. I only want to submit to 10 in this. If you did that, you could click OK, and it's just going to randomly pick 10 for you. And then the same thing with the unselect all. You can unselect all, unselect highlighted, or unselect all with no category set. Again, we can talk about that in a few minutes when we look at something that requires categories. Once I've set this here, and I'm happy with that, the last thing that I need to do is click preview. And if I click preview on this, you'll see now that this will be the title for the blog post that Magic Submitter creates. Then we've got a post summary, and you'll notice that we've also got a post body down here. This is going to be the actual content that gets posted to the blog. Here's our keywords, and at the bottom you'll notice there's a post page name. Every time I click on this wand, it will rewrite that. You'll now notice that the title's changed. We've got different keywords in here. You notice we've got 2 different links in here that say different things. This second link is the random link from the Random Links Manager. So if I click that again, you'll notice it now says Samsung. Then it says Samsung Galaxy Phone. Then it says Samsung again. And you'll notice that this is the link back to my website that I was specifically trying to rank for. The anchor text for this one's going to change every time too. So I'm going to get lots of variations here of both links. And the post page name and the post keywords are changing as well, which is brilliant. Lots and lots of nice variation. What we can also do in here is we can click create contextual links. Let's say, for example, we didn't want to put links at the bottom of the blog. We actually wanted to find a keyword in the post itself, and you make that a hyperlink. What we can do is click create contextual links. We can click here, edit, see links. And on this side here, we can put our keywords. So I'm going to write the word Samsung, and then on the other side, I could spin a URL. So I might say I want this URL to go to site.com/, and I can specifically pick a page on my website, Samsung 2, and check contextual keywords, because what this is going to do is it's going to check to make sure that the keyword appears in the post body field. And in this case, it doesn't. That was a good thing to notice. These keywords are case specific. It does actually say that at the top there, case sensitive. So I'm going to write in here, my keyword is Samsung, and the website is site.com/Samsung-2. When I click check contextual links, it should now find it. All contextual keywords are in the article. I'm now going to click save. And then when I click preview, what you'll notice is it's found a random word in the website called Samsung, and it's turned that into a link. And every time I click this, you'll notice that word Samsung is dancing around throughout the article. It's in the top now, then it's in the middle, then it's at the bottom. Now what you can also do with this is you can add more than one keyword to here. So let's say, for example, I also wanted to use my other keyword, Samsung Galaxy. What I can do is I can put that one in here, and let's say I want that to go to Samsung 2, and this one I just want to go to 3. I can click save on that, and now when I click preview, sometimes it will choose Samsung, sometimes it will choose Samsung Galaxy, like it has done at the top there. So they're my different keywords, and I can also change the link quantities. I could say 2 and click preview, and then you'll notice it selected both Samsung and Samsung Galaxy that time. In the next one, it's picked Samsung Galaxy twice at the top and the bottom, Samsung Galaxy and Samsung Galaxy again. So you can get some nice variation with that too. Now, just one thing to point out in regards to the contextual links, always start off with your longest keywords first. So you'll notice here I put Samsung Galaxy first, and then Samsung Galaxy, which is the smaller keyword underneath it. And when I say smaller, I mean smaller in length. Start off with the longest ones first and then go down to the smallest ones at the bottom. It's just the way that Magic Submitter works. It'll make your contextual links work properly. So I'll click save on that and then click save. Now you will notice I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. We have got 4 outbound links in this blog post. Realistically, you only want to stick to 2 and 3 at an absolute push. Putting 4, 5, 6 links in a post can start to make it look spammy. Try and stick to 1, 2 or 3 outbound links. So I'm now going to click save on this one. Now the next thing I'm going to look at is blog platforms, so we can have a look at the categories. When I double click on this node, you'll notice on some of these sites have got blue bold font in them and other ones have got black font. The ones in black font don't actually require categories to be set, but the ones in blue bold font do require categories to be set. Now, what you can do inside here is you can click set categories. Magic Submitter, by the way, should by default, when you get to the end of the wizard, based on the campaign niche that you chose from the drop down menu in the wizard, it should set some categories for you. But what you can do is, if you decided you wanted to set other categories, you can click set categories. You can choose a different niche from the drop down menu, and then you can click on set categories. What you can also do in here is you can type in a keyword, let's say health. You can click on set filter, and you'll notice Magic Submitter was able to find some different categories here that say filter. We could then click select and it will choose those. So I'm going to try and click preview on this one. I just want to demonstrate one thing to you though, because this is something that does come up in Magic Submitter sometimes. I'm going to delete that one category there and I'm going to click preview, and you'll notice that we get an error that says please ensure that all selected categories shown in blue bold font have categories chosen. So what we can do in this case is, we noticed this one because I unchecked it or deleted it. But what we can do is we can check and see if there's anything else that we can select instead. So I might select for this one, tech news. Now, what I can also do, I could scroll down through each one of these individually and check to see whether they've got categories chosen or not. Or I can just click unselect all with no categories set. If I click that button, it should now let me preview without any error messages popping up. So I can hit preview and I can see my blog post again, which looks great. And again, don't forget, you can click here for help just to make sure that everything's set right. So everything in there is looking good. I won't do any contextual links for this one. I'll just preview it. That looks great. I'll click save. And then I'll double click on the next one, which is videos. And again, if I click preview, you'll notice that we need to select categories shown in blue bold font. Okay, so for the sake of this, again, I'm just going to click unselect all with no categories set, click preview, and Magic Submitter will now let me see exactly what this video submission is going to look like. There's my description, there's my video tags, and there's the video file it's going to pull straight from my hard drive. Everything here is looking good. We can click save on that, there's no problems there. And we can go through, double click on each one's, hit preview, make sure everything looks good, it all looks great. I can click save, move on to the next one. Just want to point out a couple of things. In the bookmark services, if this bookmark service looks fine, then by default, because Magic Submitter is pulling the same information from each of these places, these bookmarks and these bookmarks should also be fine. Shouldn't be any problems with those. Next, I'm going to click on profile links, check these, hit preview. Everything looks good here, no problems, so I can click save. And finally, let's check plug bookmarks, hit preview on this. Everything looks great there. You'll notice on this one, it says campaign domain. And basically what campaign domain means is we can't actually give it a proper URL yet. When Magic Submitter builds this link here, it will then change this campaign domain to whatever the link above it was in the campaign template. Something else that I pointed out on the last video too was chain links. Let's say, for example, I wanted to run this campaign over 30 days in total. It's a 3-tier campaign, so what I could do in here was write 10 days in here and click save, and then it will be 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. But actually, I don't want to wait a whole 10 days only to build plug bookmarks back to these 2 tiers. It'll be a waste of 10 days, in which what I could do instead is leave this set to 15 days and then click save. And then here at the bottom, this link here between the grey link, I can right click this and click chained link. And now that's going to make that 1 tier. So that's how we create our chain links and regular links. We left click it so that it highlights the link. Then we right click it, we click chained, or we right click it, select regular. Okay. So that pretty much takes care of the stuff that we can do in here. I just want to quickly talk to you about some of these features along the top of the designer as well. You could create a brand new campaign from scratch here if you wanted to, or a new campaign template. You can save the campaign we're currently working on, or we can save the campaign as and give it a new name. We can open a campaign, or we can just save the campaign template itself. We can do a print preview of the campaign or print it, or we can do a quick link. Now, just to show you what a quick link is, if I was to click this icon here, so it's now got an orange tab around it, I can click blogs, and then I can click money site, and I don't have to actually draw the links. It'll just automatically pop that in there for me because I had quick links selected. We can also attach existing submit items. We can delete selected elements. If I had an element highlighted and I click this, it'll just take the node out. I can also clear dependencies between task and campaign. Let's say I wanted to delete the dependencies of one of these nodes. I could do so. Click create scheduled tasks again, and it will rerun it as a separate task. I've not used the clear dependencies between tasks and campaign button. It's not going to be very often that you use it, so don't worry about it too much. Next, we've got zoom in, zoom out, and we can also auto layout stuff. Let's say, for example, I've built a campaign template. It's looking a little bit messy. This go into here. I might have this go into, say, here. It's looking a little bit strange. So what I can do is I can click auto layout, and it just drops it and makes it look nice and pretty for me. So I'm just going to delete these ones off. Click the delete selected element, highlight it first, delete selected element. You can also delete it by just hitting the delete button on your keyboard too. That'll get rid of it. And then finally, we can export links to Excel. We can't export anything yet because the links haven't been created. However, once we start to create scheduled tasks and leave it a couple of days, we can click export links to Excel, and it'll actually show us all of the links that have been created. And then finally, when your campaign's finished, what you can actually do, let's say this one's going to run for 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, I can come back into the designer. I would do that by going into manage campaigns, click on the campaign and click edit. And at the end of the 30 days, I can click this button here, reset campaign. Now you use this function to tell Magic Submitter to rerun all failed account creation tasks and then rerun all failed submit tasks. This is a great button. It will allow you to basically, as it says, reset the campaign. So Magic Submitter is not going to have a 100% success rate when it's creating accounts, and it won't have a 100% success rate when it's submitting. That's just the nature of submission tools. So what we can do is at the end, once it's finished, just click rerun campaign or reset campaign, and Magic Submitter will try and go back and get you some more links. The last time I used that, I was able to get an extra 100 links for a campaign that I submitted 2 months ago. So I do recommend using it. It's a pretty cool feature. The last couple of things to point out in here, let's say, for example, I was to go back into the blog nodes. I can go into my post body and I could edit this. I might decide that I want to add some dynamic content. So I'm going to go in, double click on the blog node, go to the post body and click on this little wizard guy. And I might find a random space in my article, let's say just after the first paragraph. And Magic Submitter's got some content, dynamic content that we can add here. We could add a random image if we wanted to. If we was to just put that in there like that, Magic Submitter's going to go out to a free image sharing website. It's going to type our keyword in, and it's going to pull a random image and embed it directly into our blog post. We could also, if we wanted to, decide, okay, we don't want to use a random image. Let's say we decided we wanted to use a random video. Magic Submitter will do the same thing, but it will just go to YouTube, type in our keyword, and just embed one of the videos directly from YouTube into our blog post. This is great to add dynamic content to our blogs. The next link that we've got here is image. What we can do with image is we can actually go to our website. Let's just say, see if we could do this website. No, let's just say we went to this site here, my website, magicsubmittertutorials.com. There's an image of me over here. I can right click this, copy image URL. I can head back into Magic Submitter, insert here to put that image URL in, and then I can spin some image text. So I might say the image text for this was, I don't know, James John or Magic Submitter Tutorials, or let's say Magic Submitter Tutorials.com. Click add on that, and you'll notice that it puts the embed code in for that image, and it will auto select the different alt image text for us. Fantastic to do that. And finally, what we could do is we could also add our own YouTube videos. If you click on video here, you can add as many of your own YouTube videos as you like. For the sake of this, I'm just going to say YT1, YT2, or YT3. And what you'll notice when we click add is it puts the iframe embed code in, and here you can see that it's going to automatically spin one of those free URLs. This is brilliant. What I like to do in my campaigns is I actually like to spin all of this stuff together. I tell Magic Submitter to choose an image directly from my website, or embed one of those YouTube videos that I own, or embed a random image or a random video. Now what you're going to notice is when I click preview, this particular blog post is going to have an image pointing back to my website with the alt text James Upjohn. The next blog post is going to be YouTube video 2 embedded directly into it. The next one would be a random image that Magic Submitter is going to decide which one to use. The next one is going to be YouTube video 1. The next one is going to be a random image again. Then it'll be YouTube video 3. Then it'll be a random video. So we're really getting a ton of uniqueness now on these. Every single blog is going to have a different title, different post keywords. It's going to have different outbound links. And now it's got a different level of dynamic content in it too. Now, there's 3 different nodes in Magic Submitter that you can use this dynamic content on. You can use it in blogs, you can use it in blog platforms, and you can also use it in WordPress blogs. This particular campaign doesn't have WordPress blogs in it, but just remember that you can do it in those 3. Now, what I'm going to do with my blog platforms is I'm going to take that exact same string that I used before. So let's just go in here, post body, scroll up and select, let's find it. I'm going to copy this, but when I paste it into the post body for the blog platforms, I actually want to make sure that I don't put it in exactly the same position. So in the first one, I put it after the first paragraph, but now for my blog platforms, I'm going to put it right at the bottom underneath my resources box. The reason for doing that is I don't want that dynamic content always appearing at the end of every single first paragraph that we create, because that's going to leave a footprint in its own right. So let's just mix things up a little bit. Once we've done that, we can click save. Now I've added my dynamic content. I've shown you the random links. I've previewed everything to make sure everything's okay. So the last thing that we would do now, create scheduled tasks, and then Magic Submitter is going to go off and create these for me. So I'm going to click create scheduled task. You'll notice this green bar at the bottom. And what's happened now is Magic Submitter has opened the task manager. I'm going to stop the video here. And in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about what the task scheduler is, how to read it properly, and how to check for errors. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I look forward to speaking to you on the next one. Thanks very much.